Okay. So if you see over here, okay, as I was saying that the first part is the pair of testes. Okay. So as I told you, this is present inside pouch, which is called as what? Scrotum. So if you see this pair over here, the small thing, okay, this is what? The scrotum. Inside this testis is present. Now, the reason why it is present inside this pouch is the testis needs to be maintained in a 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius less than that of the body temperature. So that is the first reason why this is present there inside the pouch. Okay. Plus, if you see the dimensions of the overall the testis, it is how much? 4 to 5 centimeter in length and 2 to 3 centimeter in width. Plus, it will be having small lobules. Okay, small like this thread like lobules it will be having. That is about 250 compartments will be present over there. Okay, so this is what how actually the testis is there. It looks like. Fine. So each of this lobule is having, now I told you the three glands, right? So out of which whatever the seminiferous tubules is there, okay, that they will be present where? Inside this testis. Fine. So they are called as what? Seminiferous tubule. So if I take one testicular lobule, in that how many seminiferous tubule will be present? 1 to 3. Highly coiled they will be, okay, so that they can fit into that particular testis. So now what is the use of the seminiferous tubule? Now these are the major sites where the sperm is going to be formed. Okay, so which part of the male body produces the sperm? It's the seminiferous tubules which is present inside the testis. Right? So now in this seminiferous tubules, there are basically two types of cell which are present. Okay, that is the male germ cell and the Sertoli cells. Now, if you see, this is the image, okay, where you can see over here the Sertoli cells as well as this small things over here. They are what? The male germ cells. So the male germ cells is initially known as what? Spermatogonia. Okay, so now you know that a cell divides by two processes, that is mitosis and meiosis, right? So here what happens is whatever the male germ cells are there, they are going to undergo the process of the meiosis so that they can form what? The end product, which is the sperm, right? So now obviously this, if the cell has to grow, okay, and where if they have to become a sperm, it needs some kind of what? Nourishment or nutrition, right? So those things, they are being provided by whom? They are being provided by this Sertoli cells. Okay. So whatever the seminiferous tubule where the sperms are being formed, it mainly contains what? Two types of cells named as male germ cell as well as the Sertoli cells. Fine. So the male germ cells is going to undergo the process of the meiosis so that it can form the sperm. Whereas the Sertoli cells is going to give the nutrients which are necessary for the germ cells to undergo the meiosis process. Right. Now, if you see up like on the outside region of the seminiferous tubule, okay, we have something called as what? Interstitial space. Okay, so if you see over here, this space is called as what? The interstitial space. Now this interstitial space is having lots of small blood vessels. Okay, and they are also called as what? Leydig cells. So this plays a very important role in producing a hormone, okay, which is very important for the males so that, whatever their hairs are there, they will grow. So for that thing only, you have something called as the Leydig cells, which is going to produce androgens. So androgens is what? The male hormones, which is going to, what do you say, produce a secondary sexual characteristics in that particular male. Okay, so the seminiferous tubules are the main size for the synthesis of the sperm, whereas outside the seminiferous tubules, you're having something called as the interstitial space, which is having lots of small blood vessels. That is the Leydig cells. Okay, so this Leydig cells are only going to produce the male hormone called as androgens. Okay, so this is the first part of the male reproductive system, which is testis. Second is the accessory glands as well as the ducts. Okay, so I told you the four parts already which are present here. Now, if you see over here, the first part is what? The rete testis. Okay, so whatever the rete testis is there, it is nothing but the irregular cavities which are present inside that particular gland. That is the first one. Okay, then the second one you have is what? The vasa efferentia. Okay, now vasa efferentia is nothing but they are a series of tubules. So lots of tubules will be present over there. So hence it's called as what? The vasa efferentia. Third part is the epididymis. Now, epididymis, what it does is whenever a sperm is being produced, temporarily it has to store because see, before that sperm is released into the female body, somewhere it has to get stored. So for that purpose only, epididymis is present. So what it is going to do is it is temporarily going to what do you say um, store that particular sperms over there. Then comes the vas difference. Okay, so the vas difference which is there. Now, whatever the duct is there of the seminal vesicle. Okay, now seminal vesicles ducts you are having, right? So that particular joining of the seminal vesicle to form what? A ejaculatory duct. Ejaculation means what? From where the sperms are going to pass out into the female body, right? So from whatever the vast difference is there, it is going to join that particular seminal vesicle to form what? Ejaculatory duct. So from the ejaculatory duct, next it goes into where? Now, if you see over here, see, this is what? The epididymis, right? So you have the lobules over here, small lobules. Now sperm producing tubes are also there. Now from here, what it is going to do is it is going to go into the epididymis, right? So from there, the epididymis is what is the role of the epididymis? To store the sperms temporarily. Now once it stores that particular thing, next what happens is whatever this vast difference is there, that is going to join the seminal vesicle. So this area is your seminal vesicle to form the ejaculatory duct. So this entire part which you have over here is the ejaculatory duct. Okay, so slowly whatever the sperms are there, it will come from here. Okay, and it will enter where? Into the urethra. Okay, and then finally from here, whatever the urethra is there, it's going to receive the, or it will be gone to where? The prostate and the Copper's gland. Ultimately, it will go over there. Okay, so whatever this entire process is there, it is nothing but whatever different paths we saw, the 4 paths. It is just going to lead that particular sperm to its final destination. Okay, so here, whatever, as I told you, the seminiferous tubule where the site of synthesis of the sperms takes place, it will open into the first part, which is the vasa efferentia. That is through a part called as rete testis. Okay, so from the vasa efferentia, it will enter into the epididymis and then it will go to the vas difference. Now from here only, from the vas difference, whatever stored sperms are there in the epididymis, it will go into the urethra and then to the ejaculatory ducts. So what happens from the ejaculatory duct? Obviously, it will go to the urethra, the urinary bladder, and finally through the penis, it's going to excrete into the female body. Okay, this is how the second thing, that is the whatever the accessory glands are there, they will function. Okay, so now whatever the ducts and glands are there, very important 3 things which I told you is the prostate gland, Copper's gland, right? So and the seminal vesicles. So when you come to the glands, okay, now what is the major function of the glands? It will secrete some important materials, okay, which will be useful in further transportation as well as nourishment of that particular sperms. So accessory glands, what it does, it secretes the seminal plasma, which is rich in what? Fructose, calcium, as well as some of the enzymes. So what are the major accessory glands? Already I have told you, seminal vesicles, prostate gland, and a bulboteral glands. That is a Copper's gland also it's called as, right? So now if you see, there is something which is called as the semen. Okay, so whenever the sperms are being released into the female body, it is released along with the seminal plasma. That is nothing but a liquid thing. So the seminal plasma plus the sperms are commonly known as what? Semen. Okay, so now as I told you, there should be like how in the female reproductive system or how the urine excretes. In the same way, the sperms also has to go out. So for that purpose only, you have the fourth thing, which is called as the external genital parts. Okay, so the first external genital parts which you have over here is the penis. Now that is the male external part. Okay, so there will be some kind of tissues which will be surrounding the penis so that it may help in the erection or the straightening of the penis. Okay, plus there will be that particular penis will be having an enlarged end. If you see over here, this is the enlarged end, which is called as what? Glans of penis. Okay, so and plus it will be covered with a skin called as the foreskin. So if you see over here, this entire part is called as what? The foreskin. And this is the enlarged part, which is the glans of penis. Now from here only, whatever the sperms are there, that is going to exit out. Okay, so this is all about what? The male reproductive system.